on today's video. I'm really excited about upcycling these 3 vases. They're 3 different vases and I'm using 3 different techniques. Now, one of the techniques I've tried several times and I'm pretty certain all of the internet has already tried it. It's the baking soda paint technique. So that's this vase here. Now for these other 2 vases, I haven't tried either of these techniques, so it's gonna be an adventure. But to keep things safe and to make sure that things do match my decor, I'm going to be using leftover paint from our house. So they're colors that I know match, that I know they work with every room in this house, because pretty much my whole house is the same colors, and I don't have to spend any extra money. Let's have some fun. There really isn't much to set up or that you even need for this next technique. I have somewhere to catch paint if it drips, and it's the same place I'm gonna let things dry. And then I need some paint and a little spoon. There's not really any measurements for this, it's just making it up and guessing as you go. So I'm just gonna shake these paint cans and get started. Okay, paint's all shook up, and all I need to do now is scoop up different amounts of the paint into the vase. I don't really know if it makes a difference. I think it does, but I wouldn't know the science behind it. What difference it makes for which color you do first. So I think I'm gonna do this one because it's my wall color. This is the most prominent color in my house. I already managed to get paint on myself. And this is only the first color. Now you can have different spoons for each different paint color, but this is my paint spoon and I only have one. Next, I'm gonna do the darkest color. Now I'm moving to my trim color. And lastly, this is what just a bedroom color. And this is the view inside the vase. So the paint's in the vase, and now you start to swirl it around to create a marble effect. Let's see what this looks like. Oh my gosh, I love it. Definitely you could use more paint, but this is so far what it looks like. I'm gonna quickly add some more paint to it, starting with the darkest one because that one really is popping out nice. All right, so I've added more paint and I'm gonna go back to swirling it around. Now it's getting close to the edge, so I'm just gonna flip it over and continue to let it drift down. So the paint's sliding down and going towards the mouth of the vase. When it gets all the way down, I'm gonna flip it up and let it dry. So the paint goes down and then it goes up. So, oh, and it kind of went sideways too because I swirled it sideways. So this way, it's gonna get a really cool marble effect. I even like it already. And now I'm gonna flip it and let it dry completely with it going downwards. Now with the gravity pulling on it, it does look really cool. I'm just gonna clean up the mouth a little. Once it's fully dry, I'm gonna really do a good cleaning on it. But this is it for now. What did I learn about this technique? What are some takeaways? Well, I really like it. That's a good thing. It's way messier than I was expecting, so wear gloves. This is even after I washed my hands. And I did get some on the outside, but it's glass, so I'll be able to clean that up. Get different spoons for every different color. It'll make your life easier. You don't have to clean up in between and get your hands even messier. And you will use more paint than you expect. I first started off with 8 teaspoons for this size of a vase. I don't know, the size of my head. And that was 8 to start, and that wasn't gonna cut it. So then I did almost double the amount. And that's about it. It's easy, it's simple, and you can use any paint. You don't have to use house paint like I did. Use whatever paint you have. Let's let it dry and see what it looks like. This vase here was clearly an apothecary jar in its previous life, and it's missing its top, but I'm okay with that. I want it to be a vase, and that's what happens when you thrift things. First step I'm going to do is spray paint the inside with the mirror effect, so it's nice and shiny, and then after that, I'm going to be spray painting the outside matte black. And here we are with the first coat of the mirror effect. I definitely need at least another coat. The inside's shiny enough, so it's time to spray paint the outside. I did say I was going to use house paint, but for this vase I changed my mind and I used this Parisian gray chalk paint, which I picked up at Michael's. And I did 2 coats of that and it's dried overnight, so it's ready to go. Underneath is the black matte, and I'm going to be distressing it to reveal that black. I have some room to work now, so I'm ready to get sanding. My last step is to apply wax. The wax is just going to protect the chalk paint. It is the same day like that I did the distressing. It's just so humid and gross outside. I had to shower and tie up my hair. But that aside, let's get some waxing done. It's done and styled, and I love it. It doesn't look like a topless apothecary jar anymore. It doesn't even really look like glass. I think this technique was awesome. What do you think? Do you have any different ideas or suggestions? Drop in the comments below. I love learning new techniques. For the baking soda paint technique, I've poured some paint into here, and now I'm gonna do pretty much like equal parts baking soda. There we go. The more baking soda you put in, the chunkier or grittier it gets. You just stir that up. And it kind of, I don't know, resembles toothpaste. Like it's nice and thick. That's what it looks like. If you want it chunkier, you put more baking soda, of course. And if you want it runnier, you're gonna put more paint. Simple as that. That's it. Let's get to painting. This can be pretty messy. You're gonna be touching the vase, moving it around, so I will put on gloves. Ooh, you know what'd be really good? If I had my Lazy Susan from the spray tent. That would make this even better. Okay, BRB. Okay, got my Lazy Susan. There we go. As I was saying, this is messy, so you do need to wear gloves, or I recommend you wear gloves. I'm messy even when I don't think I'm going to be messy. I'm just making sure this is really stirred up well. The brush I'm using is just an old, I've used it several times. It's just an old junky brush now, so it's perfect for something like this. You can spray paint, give it just like a quick coat of spray paint if you're worried that something's not gonna stick. I yet haven't had that problem, so I'm not gonna be doing that to this one. But I'm gonna start painting. I wanted to have some lines around, which is why I'm doing it this way. Now, of course, like many of my projects, I might change my mind halfway through and change up what I'm doing. But for now, I'm going to be applying paint around and around. This is the paint up close that has some awesome texture to it, as you can see. At least I hope you can see. I'm looking for spots that I missed to touch up before I do the top. And now the lip. Because I can see inside the pot because of the wide mouth, I'm gonna put some paint also here. This is the first coat. It looks great. I might leave it like this. I do think it looks quite good. I like that it has nice streaky lines on it, but what I'm gonna do is let it dry overnight and I'm gonna come back tomorrow and take a look. I did do a second coat and I love how it turned out. That's the nice thing about the baking soda paint technique. It's predictable. It always turns out great. It's inexpensive, it's simple, and it doesn't use any weird materials. And this is the vase where we poured the paint inside and then swirled it around, tipping it back and forth. The best thing about this vase is how well it matches my floor. Like, the colors are spot on, and even the stripes match the stripes in my floor. I think it looks great. Well, that's the end of this video. Thanks for watching. Now remember, you can hit the bell for notifications, subscribe, and like this video. You can also follow us on Instagram at HomeCulture Canada. See you in the next one.